What's up, y'all? It's Jay Thunder.
And AJ Radix.
And we are the PWX AWA Tag Team Champions, Extreme Thunder. And you're listening to the Smack Raw Podcast, baby.
Yo, how's it going, everyone? And welcome to the Smack Raw Podcast, your one-stop shop for all your wrestling recaps, reviews, pay-per-view predictions, all that other good stuff. I'm your host once again. My name is SES Vince, and I am joined by Mr. Aaron Real Petty, one half of the Mean Jellybean Productions YouTube channel. What is up, my man?
Whoa, told you it only took 5-6 shows. You got it right. Let's go.
you know what it is, man. I just came in with a load of confidence into it. I acted like I belong. One take. I'm trying to get in one take, and I got it. Once again, if you are new, we are a pro wrestling podcast. We cover NXT, AEW, SmackDown, Raw, all that stuff. We're going to be covering AEW Revolution this Saturday, so tune in for that. We do a couple live streams. NXT, unfortunately, gets the short end of the stick when it comes to the live streams, but we are here. We are on YouTube, so like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on the bell notifications so you know when the new episode, new video drops. If you're on Apple Podcasts, go ahead and download it. Give it a 5-star rating. Give it a review so it helps the algorithm, helps the exposure of the show. Honestly, we're on all the podcasting sites. You think of it, we're on it. Just go ahead and download the episode there because it helps the exposure. But with that being said, man, I mean, the only there's not really anything else I'm forgetting in the little plugs. So let's just get into the NXT stuff.
Actually, there is one more. Don't forget to like us on Facebook as well. Smack Raw Podcast.
Okay, yes.
Well.
Okay. Sweet. So yes, like Aaron, just reminded us, we do have a Facebook page, so look us up, Smack Raw Podcast. We also have a Discord, so go ahead and join the Discord chat. We love to talk wrestling there with you guys. That's really what it's for, so that when there's the live wrestling shows, we have that interaction with other folk and just talk wrestling, because that's all this is really about, is to talk wrestling. And just like me and Aaron, we like to discuss NXT weekly. We love to discuss NXT with you guys on Twitter. So follow us at SmackRaw Pod. You can follow me on Twitter at SCS Vince. Aaron, what's your Twitter handle?
Mr. 8984. And then also to shoot us questions, give us that hashtag Smacked NXT, and we'll definitely check you out and give you some feedback back and forth during the show.
For sure. I'm going to have to try to get a graphic going, the little hashtag Smacked NXT. Let's get that trending. Let's get that be a thing. Smacked NXT whenever we start tweeting NXT going forward. Let us know what you thought. Because I thought tonight's episode really smacked. It was really good. It was great. There was a couple stuff that I wasn't feeling, but, nothing's going to be perfect on tonight's episode. But we kick things off, if I'm not mistaken, with Dijakovic versus no. Before I'm getting ahead of myself, we kick things off with a video of Charlotte Flair being welcomed by William Regal to the NXT arena. I gotta say, I loved it. It made Charlotte feel like a big top star. It made her feel like a big deal, which she is.
Yeah, no, I definitely great way to start the show off. You know what I'm saying, and especially putting the Queen where she's supposed to be. I mean, supposed to let out the red carpet for arguably the greatest NXT performer to come out since they turned into NXT. So definitely was feeling that for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that's one thing that I noticed tonight is she did feel like NXT royalty. The crowd treated her as such, but we'll get into that more once we get into the main event, which she had. So the first match was actually Dominik Dijakovic versus Cameron Grimes. First of all, thoughts on this match? What you think?
This match was actually a banger. I want to say I was surprised because I feel like both of them definitely can put on good matches, but this was a way better match than I was ready for. You know what I'm saying? This shit was fire for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it's one of those things where early on, what I noticed is that Cameron Grimes was doing the heel tactics, very smart, savvy veteran, targeting the lower back, which Dijakovic blamed for his loss against Keith Lee at Takeover Portland. So it was smart. It started off like that. And honestly, what surprised me is to see more high-flying and acrobatic moves out of Dijakovic than I did out of Cameron Grimes, which is what I loved. I thought that was really, really cool. I like that aspect of the whole thing.
I think that was a real effort on their part to show that, because a lot of this stuff coming out of the takeover was that nobody can catch him and nobody can, I guess, support him with any of that high flying shit that he was doing, and he was doing it with Keith Lee, who's probably maybe the strongest man in the whole company. So I think that he made it. I don't know if it was their thing, but I think he made it a definite effort to show that it didn't matter the size of the opponent, that he can do some of that stuff and be safe doing it.
Yeah, I mean, to be being safe doing it, maybe, you know, real life aspect, yes, but storyline aspect, it might have cost him the match, almost cost him the match, because he did a really nice diving moonsault to the outside, landed it, but like kind of injured his left leg or his left knee or whatever, and then when he tried to get back in, it was very gingerly like, and Damian Priest out of nowhere came in with like a lead pipe or like a tube, like a crowbar or something.
His ass, bro. He would have to pull out baton and everything.
Yeah.
Bro. Why me? I was dying when that happened.
Oh, dude. So what I loved about it is that like the entire thing, like first off, it's like the injury, right? The injury happens. You're like, oh man, is he gonna be able to get in? Man, maybe this is how they have Cameron Grimes gets the win by still protecting Dijakovic. But then Damian Priest hits him in the left knee. Obviously, this is gonna set up something down the line. It's a match between the two. Which one I'm super stoked about, because if there's another big guy that can really go and do some athletic stuff, it's Damian Priest. I think that guy is underrated. So I thought that was it. I legit thought that was it. He was going to get counted out. There's no way Dijakovic makes it back in. Dude looked like a stud jumping from like the crowd, where the crowd barricade area was, and then making the breaking the 10 count, making it right before it. But man, the minute he slides in, John Cena like, he gets double moon stomp by Cameron Grimes, gets the win. Strong win for Cameron Grimes. I don't know what his situation is going to be like going forward. I don't know what they're building him up to, but obviously this is a guy that Triple H and the NXT brass are very high on, because they give him protected losses, put him in interesting programs with like big names. Like before that it was Kushida, and obviously he was like dominating before that. Before that he was going on a winning streak before he lost to Kushida.
Like what? 10, 20-second matches, hitting them with the mushroom stomp out the gate.
And man, I love that mushroom stomp. And look, man, nothing against my man's Kofi, because I love Kofi, but man, he does not hit it like he's supposed to. Cameron Grimes hits that beautifully, man.
And the way that like there's different people that do it or do versions of it, but when Cameron Grimes does it, that shit looks, I mean, it's about as realistic as it can, but I mean, it looks like he really could hurt you, or that could be a finisher when he does. Like, I don't know what it is about. Maybe it's because it's his. He's made it his, and he's done it for so long. But like, anytime he hits it, it doesn't matter who he hits it against, where it's at. Like, it looks like that shit can really put you down.
The crazy part about it, I might be mistaken here, but I don't think he used to use it as a finisher, and I think that's like a WWE thing where they're like, no, this is so good, use it as a finisher.
No, it wasn't a finisher.
It was? Okay.
Yeah. He started out doing the 450, but then like once he got back more like in the independence and PWG, like same thing. There was no, that's your finisher. That's the best move you do. So
okay, got it. I wasn't sure if that was a thing where it was just a transitional move or like a signature move.
It started out a transition move, but like you said, it looks so damn good, and especially when you're going against people that know how to take it and make it look good. When he does it, like it ended up being his finisher.
Gotcha. I mean, it's a very good finisher. I think it's dope. It looks legit. Like you said, it's the way he delivers and executes it makes it seem like if we're walking down the street, he could hit it to me if he wanted to.
Yeah, like literally in the middle of nowhere, just fucking stomp on your chest walking down the street. And another aspect, like he's actually pretty damn good on the mic once they give him a chance. Like he's not terrible on the mic. He's not like most of these dudes that are awesome in the ring, high flyers, and then you give them the mic and they can't. Like, no, he can actually talk too, and that's another thing that they're definitely going to have to give him some more mic time and let him see. But I agree with you. I definitely think that they got plans for him, because why would you give him a big win like that versus Dijakovic, regardless if he was hurt or not? That was still a loss for him. It's still a win for Cameron Grimes. And if you really think about it, what other heels is it besides? There's only a couple heels, and he's one of them. So they got to start pushing somebody up.
So I guess one thing that I've noticed from this, not only from the Cameron Grimes win, but also the interference by Damian Priest and later his interview. I mean, we could talk about it right now since it's all together. I like to use, especially when it's something small towards the end. I don't like to leave it towards the end. I want to cover it all together. So the interviewer basically asks him, why did you attack Dijakovic? What was the reason for it? And he's like, look, man, it's nothing personal, man. But now I just wanted my intentions to be known, and now Keith Lee knows what I want. So it was basically to get the attention of Keith Lee and get that North American title opportunity. That's what he wants. And like, again, he was saying nothing personal. And I think it was the same thing he said when he attacked Pete Dunne. It's like, look, man, nothing personal, but you're a big name. I'm trying to make my own name. I'm trying to live in infamy. I'm trying to have Damian Priest be that infamous name out there. And the only way to do that, I got to take out these guys. And that's why he took out Dijakovic. And I kind of like that that's kind of his motivation behind all of his feuds. It's like, look, man, I have no beef, man. Nothing personal, man. I'm just trying to get to the top. I'm trying to do me. And if I got to get through you, so be it. You're just a casualty in this situation.
You know what that's called? All
right, go ahead.
Some actual heel shit. Heel doing heel things. He told you flat out his reasoning. I'm here to win a title. I'm going to take out by any means necessary anybody I have to get to that title. That's some heel shit.
Right.
Finally, NXT, we know a man is a heel and he's doing heel things, and then he even walked off with the chicks.
Oh, I love that. I love that he just like
I'm like, man, I'm here for this. I fucks with this guy.
Oh yeah, no, definitely, man. I definitely, I'm big time Damian Priest guy. So, like I was saying, this seems like it's setting up two challengers for Keith Lee, because you don't know who's going to step up next. Cameron Grimes is obviously a name that can step up.
That's what I was going to say. I think I took more away from that than anything. I think maybe it'll either probably be a triple threat, or maybe they'll do Damian Priest versus Dijakovic, and then the winner of that goes against Cameron Grimes to face him. But I think Cameron Grimes, and I think all three of them are going to be viable.
Yeah, I think so too. I just think that for instance, like Cameron Grimes can feud for the title with Keith Lee, while Dijakovic and Damian Priest are a thing. Then Damian Priest moves on to Keith Lee, and they're setting stuff up for Keith Lee down the line. And hopefully, yeah. So it does look like they're setting stuff up for Keith Lee, so he doesn't just sit there wandering and doing nothing with that title. So it looks like they got plans for him.
I mean, NXT is the best in the world at doing that. Like everything they do, you already know it's setting up for something different. Like you don't have, at this point, we don't even question it or even thinking about it. You know, whenever NXT does some shit like this, you know that this is just the building of a bridge to get to somewhere else down the line. We don't know where it is or where exactly it's going, but we know that they're building a bridge to something. And that's the only gripe I have against AEW is the differences. Like you kind of never know what their storyline is. I mean, it's great matches for sure. But in NXT, you literally know they give you a roadmap to almost every single damn feud or anything that's gonna happen. So like I'm that's literally one of my favorite parts about NXT is the fact that there's always road signs to where they're going. So yeah, you may not know exactly how it's gonna happen, but at least there's always building blocks from the build off of.
Gotcha. I mean, yeah, that's one thing that I really do enjoy about NXT myself, and something that I've also noticed. Like right now, we were talking about number one contenders to Keith Lee, but let's continue that conversation going, because it does look like Regal isn't just gonna stand pat with the NXT Women's title. They are gonna set up a number one contender ladder match at Takeover Tampa. That's gonna be the women's match, because they were addressing like, hey, so what's gonna happen with the NXT Women's title is, since it's gonna be defended at WrestleMania, are they gonna defend it twice, or what's the situation? So Regal just basically made it known that the women's title won't be defended at TakeOver Tampa, but there will be a top women's match. So they're going to be a ladder match, and the winner of that ladder match is going to get the next title shot in between the winner of Ripley and Charlotte. And they said there was going to be a series of qualifying matches to determine who was going to be in that ladder match. I thought that was going to start taking place tonight, especially with we had Xia Li and Mia Yim taking place, but I guess not. There's not qualifying matches yet, so they're giving us something to look forward to on the build to Tampa and WrestleMania, and they're not just doing random episodes of NXT. Because honestly, last week's episode and a little bit of this episode kind of like felt like it needed a little bit more urgency. There was no build to anything, and that was the issue. They weren't building to anything. Now you're starting to, especially today. Oh man, I can't wait till we get started talking about certain stuff. But especially today, it looks like they're building towards Tampa.
The only thing I hate about, not hate, but the only thing I don't really like is like I hate ladder matches that aren't for titles. Like the clipboard on the damn pole strap and all that stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, I know the match is probably gonna be fire as hell, but like I hate ladder matches that aren't for a title.
What if they do something like Impact Wrestling where they had Feast or Fire, or the Money in the Bank where it's a briefcase and they get the title shot, but they get to say when they want their title shot. They get to choose what takeover they want.
They might as well just make it the NXT Money in the Bank.
I mean, might as well. Yeah, I get what you're saying. A ladder match when there's no like visual of like a championship or like a briefcase with Money in the Bank feels kind of weird, and you're always wondering how they're gonna set that up. But again, it's gonna be a dope match. I think once you look past the whole like having a contract or a briefcase. If they do a briefcase, I think that'd be perfect. That's a nice visual. But if they do like a clipboard, I think that's gonna look hokey. That looks very Impact Wrestling-ish.
I dig it.
All right. So speaking of Tampa, coming up next, we had Finn Balor. He cut a promo. He was basically saying he is the guy. Inside this ring, he was saying like, there's like the politicers guys, there's the social media guy, there's like all these different guys, but inside that ring, he is the guy. He's the number one guy. He is he builds brands. He said that he built Japan. He built the IC title, the Universal title, the NXT brand. He helped build all that. If you want to argue with him, that's a whole different conversation. I'm just regurgitating what the man said. He said that everybody's they're peaking right now for WrestleMania season, but what's different, sets him apart from everybody else, is that he's been at his peak for the last 20 years. Again, you can argue with that if you want, but just regurgitating what Balor said. And he was basically saying, he went and took out Riddle, he took out Gargano, and he was just basically asking who wants the Finn rub next, who wants to get that rub. And honestly, this came out of left field. I was not expecting this. I'm so excited for this. But Walter's / Imperium's music hit. One thing I will say is that I am disappointed that Walter himself did not show up, but that is good because they're holding themselves back, especially after watching the Ruthless Aggression documentary with Evolution about like holding yourself back from like giving away these payoffs. You're gonna want Finn to finally go toe to toe with Walter by the time this is done. And so it was Marcellus Bartel and Fabian Eichner. They came out to relay the message. It's like, Walter sends his regards. He's like, the one thing you haven't dominated is the NXT UK champion, Walter. And this was set up beautifully because they come out, they were going to jump Finn. Finn gets the upper hand initially, but the numbers game, it's too much for him to overcome. Honestly, this whole interaction is just something I didn't know I wanted, but I'm glad I got. Overall, on a scale of 1 to 10, how geeked are you for Walter versus Finn Balor?
Bro, this was my moment of the night. Like, this is what I was 100% locked in for. 10 out of fucking 10. I like, soon as the music hit, like, I was a little disappointed it wasn't Walter, but again, like you said, him sending out his minions, that's the best way to do it. You get to stretch it out. Finn's got to look for him and everything. It's still every week you have another member or something like that. Like this is probably going to be the match that steals the show at Takeover.
Oh, for sure. Because Walter works best when it's a smaller guy with him.
Yeah, that
can take his like him being vicious, but can also like return that viciousness to Walter.
Exactly.
And like you see him against Tyler Bate, that was beautiful. That was perfect. Mm-hmm. And Finn Balor can take it to that next level. And honestly, I don't know who to win this. And that's when a match is perfect, when you have no idea who's gonna win.
My thing is like, but we're back to the same thing I bitch about every week. Finn was one of your only heels, and now you match him up with another heel. So now who do you think? And then you jump him on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
So you automatically make him a face after all this heel energy. Even the promo before this damn happened was a heel promo, him talking shit. And I love when he's in that mode and he's talking that talk and he's in his bag, because the real rock and roller, there's no better version of Finn Balor than that. You can keep that demon shit, you can keep that Balor Club, all that other BS that WWE tried to make him be. This is the Finn Balor that we need.
Mm-hmm.
The real rock and roller, Prince Devitt, whatever the hell you want to call him.
Right.
This is it. But doing this and then taking the heel heat away from him, like having him jumped and stuff and all that, like I hate questioning NXT on this, but this is my gripe with them all the time. Like, you did all this to set him up as your number one heel pretty much, and your number one heel, mid-card heel away from the title.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell would you do that with the jump and everything to make him, give him back the sympathy and stuff? So
yeah, because that's one thing with this whole situation, is that I can't agree with what you're coming at. You know, the take that, you know, it's like 4 against 1. Obviously, Walter is the bigger guy. He has a size advantage over Finn. You're gonna get some sympathy towards Finn, and it's kind of hard to really see Walter get a babyface pop. But here's the thing: they're both in a state of like tweener-ish, where they're both heels, but they both get faces pops. As much as Finn gets all this like praise for being a really good heel, he still gets cheered. Fans, even though you can't see it, they still do the hand raising thing during his entrance, and he gets pops. I think this would be okay, just because it's a case of they cancel each other out. It's just two big behemoths, two big forces colliding, and it's not necessarily about face versus heel. It's about who's the better man, who's the next obstacle. So
I agree with you partially. The reason why I don't agree with you is because, like you said before, Finn is, even though he is a heel and he wants to be a heel, people love his ass so much that he still gets, like you said, he still gets the face pop, right? No matter what. So now when you do this stuff to him and make him sympathetic, he's going to get all the pops and all the cheers now. So that's the part, like I said, I never understood that part. But yeah, this might be the best match of the whole goddamn weekend.
Oh, for sure.
WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't put it past him to just basically steal the weekend, to be honest. So, I mean, that's just I guess small gripes between the whole build. I mean, I'm going to give it a chance. Usually with NXT, I kind of just throw the face heel dynamic out the window, because we don't get no clear baby faces, clear heels. I agree with you in that aspect. I don't find it too bad, because sometimes, it's not a bad issue. I will complain about it in the match we had tonight once we get to it. But let's start moving on to the next match. We did have Xia Li taking on Mia Yim. First thing, I heard Xia Li's music hit. I'm like, oh, dope. I love Xia Li. She's dope. Then Mia Yim's music hit, and I popped. I'm like, damn, Mia Yim, Xia Li. I thought this match was going to be amazing. And to start things off, it started off fast and quick. I like when Xia Li matches start that way, where instead of the normal lockup, it's like they try to poke at Xia Li, and then she comes in with all her kicks, and they're like, oh, okay, hold up, time out. That's not what I was expecting. I didn't think you would come in here with some tornado kicks coming my way. But overall, I thought the match was really good. I thought it was nice, and they protected Mia Yim in the loss, and they gave a good win to Xia Li and building her up slowly. And that's something that I've noticed NXT does, is that even though they may not get the wins right away, they do a slow burn, slowly ascension of certain wrestlers, and then before you know it, in the blink of an eye, they're in the top of the card, and you didn't even realize it.
That's what I was just about to say. They always keep 2 or 3 people on the back burner where they'll get a win here, they'll get a win there, just so you can hey, don't forget that this person is here. And I think that's what this match was for tonight, to remind people hey, we still got her. We know y'all are clamoring for her in the background. She's still here, but The only thing I didn't like was a cheap win for her because, I mean, even on Twitter, she's a fucking babyface.
Oh, yeah.
Twitter is awesome. Her lifting weights and like clowning in the gym and stuff. Like, I love her Twitter, and she's sexy as hell. Don't mean to be that.
Nah, man. I mean, it's fine.
She is, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I hate that they gave her that type of win. And I got a question for you. I actually posted it while I was up when we was watching this. I love Mia Yim. Like, I really do love her. Like, she's probably one of my favorite female wrestlers.
Right.
But missing something, man. There's just something that's not clicking. Like, because like you said, her music hits, the crowd's going nuts. Anytime, like, I went back and watched a couple matches last week.
Right.
Like, just trying to just see her because I like seeing her. And, like, the crowd literally dies soon as the bell rings. It's like, it's literally no sound at all. Like, I don't know what she's missing. I can't put a nail on it, but like she's missing something to get her over the hump.
I think maybe she needs a program or something that she can really sink her teeth into. You know, honestly, sometimes I feel like wrestlers, you know, you see that they're good, like Tegan Knox, Dakota Kai. So if you don't have like the natural charisma, you need something to really sink your teeth into, a program or a feud or something that really helps you connect more with the crowd, aside from like, hey, she's really cool and she has a cool moveset and she has a really nice theme song. Once you look past that, you need to find something to get a connection with the audience, and maybe she's missing that. I mean, like, I think that's a person-to-person basis, but, you know, nice observation. That's something to definitely look into, because at one point, like, the crowd, I think, was behind Zaya because they see and that's the thing, is that they're in Full Sail and they see all these wrestlers grow and develop. I'm pretty sure there's a bit more connection with Xia Li than Mia Yim, just because they saw her develop, saw her grow. They see her in the NXT circuit here in Florida, and Mia Yim, she got that pop through the Mae Young Classic, but after that, I think it's just like she needs something to do, and it looks like they might be going and giving her something, because the reason why she lost, obviously, like you mentioned, it was a roll-up win that Xia Li got. That, again, I'm going to agree with you in that part. It didn't make sense for a babyface to take advantage of a distraction. Like, honestly, like, you know, continuity kayfabe-wise, it doesn't make sense. But it was Dakota Kai and Reina Gonzalez, or Raquel Gonzalez. I forgot what they changed her last name to. Yeah, I'm just going to call her Gonzalez. But she came out. They both caused a distraction. After the match, Gonzalez goes and attacks Mia Yim. I was going to be like, damn, if Xia just dips on her, takes the sneaky win, maybe they're teasing a heel turn on her. But no, she actually comes in and helps. But it didn't make much of a difference. Gonzalez eventually got the upper hand on both of them. Looks dominant. One thing that I'm liking is that they're building up Gonzalez as a dominant monster. Something that I feel like a lot of people wanted Tamina to be when she initially got. And that, here's the thing: if Tamina was coming up around the time of NXT, around this era, she would be what Reina Gonzalez is. Instead, she was thrown into some stupid gimmicks back in the day with Santino and who knows what else. But
girl is a big girl.
Yeah.
She, at first, I thought it was just because she was next to Dakota Kai and because Dakota Kai is small. Mia Yim's a big girl too. Like, she's pretty tall, you know what I'm saying? Like, not like big, like making fun of her body, but I mean, for a woman, she's a taller and a bigger woman, and she made Mia Yim look small.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm here for this Shawn Michaels Diesel shit. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I like the comparison. I think it's really, really good. So one thing, and so the motivation was basically like, hey, you know, you replaced me. You took my spot in the match, and then I took you out. You know, it's just basically her just picking on Mia Yim. You know, just going and rehashing some stuff. And it looks like they might be going in that direction, I guess. Even though they already did it, now they have a muscle behind Dakota Kai, and now I feel like Dakota Kai is coming into her own as a heel a little bit more.
Finally.
Yeah, she's coming. I think it just might have taken a while, because I don't know if Dakota has ever played a heel before. And maybe it's just her just getting readjusted to the heel role.
The only gripe I have is she did fucking Rhea Ripley's finishing move.
She did?
She like picked her up and did like the kind of version of the powerbomb where she kind of like picks her up. It almost looked exactly like Rhea Ripley's finisher.
That's the thing. Unfortunately, the Rhea Ripley's Riptide is just basically a pump handle slam. Like, it's nothing original. It's nothing too crazy about it. You know, like, it's a variation. Like, it's not a big to me. I didn't even notice it myself, but I'll go back and watch it, see what's up. Overall, it does look like they might be going in that direction once Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox feud is done, which might be the thing that ends it next week in the cage match. So I'm jumping ahead, but fuck it, I'm just gonna talk about it anyway. Actually, no, I'm not jumping ahead. That's actually the next thing. So Dream, he had a promo, and the gist of it was that he wants Roderick Strong to experience the inside of the cage. Mr. Regal, next week when you have that cage out, leave it down. I want to have a cage match with Roddy. Later down, there is a Undisputed Era promo in which Roddy's like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that cage match. I'd want to beat you in the cage. And also in that Undisputed Era promo, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly both addressed it, the Broserweights, saying like, yo, basically they just got lucky. That's all they got. They got a one-time fluke. We've been together for 8 years. How many titles have we won? How many titles have we lost? We've done this. We've been here before. This is what we do. You guys are just a flash in the pan, which makes sense. It totally makes sense. Heels that make good sense. I don't know. NXT tends to have a lot of these. And they closed off the promo by saying, Adam Cole saying that eventually the prophecy will be fulfilled once again, and Undisputed Era is going to go down as the most dominant faction in all of WWE history, which I gotta say, it's slowly creeping up in the top 10 in WWE. In terms of WWE, I think it's already there, and it's slowly creeping up a little bit more and more. I think what it's missing is that it needs that evolution aspect or that DX aspect where the members break off, get their own single success, and then they have a reunion tour. Just like the Shield, just like Evolution. Like, you look at Evolution, you had 4 former world champions on there, and you can't deny that. You look at the Shield, they've all had former world champions. I don't know if Undisputed Era is going to ever have that, but I feel like Roderick Strong has potential as an NXT champ, and Kyle O'Reilly has the most potential out of all those guys to be one of the top baby faces or top heels. His facial expressions, his character, he's just so charismatic, and he's really good in the ring, and people already get behind him.
Yeah. My thing is, I don't think it's ever going to happen for any of them. I want it to happen for Adam Cole, and I think it will for him. But yeah, Kyle O'Reilly is definitely the most underrated member of the group. And to me, they are a top 10 faction all time because, I mean, like you said, they've done everything. Mm-hmm. Technically, they've already done everything individually. They've all been champions other places, I think, except for maybe Bobby Fish. But like he said before, they've held the tag team championships in Japan, Ring of Honor, everywhere. I mean, once they get one, I hope that they don't break them up, that they actually give them a chance on the main roster and let them be a real faction. Because that's what, to me, what Raw and SmackDown are missing is actual factions, not 3-man fucking groups that they just throw together, whatever it is, or random tag teams they just put together for no reason. Like, there needs to be stables there, at least 1 or 2 actual stables that you have to fear and look out for it in any point in time. And I think if they give them a shot at the main roster, it'll work. But
for sure. I definitely, I don't ever want to see them break up. If they have to leave NXT, fine, but keep them together. Maybe that's what they need. They've conquered NXT. They've done everything there is to do in NXT. Maybe it's time to go to Raw or SmackDown and dominate there and fulfill the prophecy over on Raw or SmackDown.
I think, me personally, I think they would do better on Raw. Mm-hmm. With everything that's going on there, but I think SmackDown is where they'll shine the most at.
I think they would shine more in Raw, in my opinion. I think they'll fit better, but between the two shows, I think SmackDown needs them more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think they're a better fit for the talent and everybody that's on Raw, and I think that Heyman would probably know a lot more to do with the faction. Mm-hmm. But I think over on SmackDown, the fact that there aren't any real tag teams, mm-hmm. There's not any real big star except for Fiend and Roman. Like, I think that would be a perfect place for Adam Cole to get some shine and for the faction as a whole to get some momentum because there isn't who's going to really oppose them.
Right.
There's New Day maybe, but I mean, still, like, there's literally no one there to oppose them.
Honestly, now that you mention it, like, there's a lot more matchups and stuff for them to do with like New Day, Usos, and then you could, even if you want to turn them babyface. Oh, that's something we've never seen them as a babyface. They could be like DX type, light, where like they just out here being inappropriate and whatnot, and they're like the jocks, they're like sorority guys, like they have their own the frat boys basically. That's what I was trying to get at. They could be like frat boys and get over that way. I don't know. I mean, there's still a lot of untapped potential with Undisputed Era. I feel like a lot of people are cooling down on them because they've been around for so long. And honestly, like, longevity is really hard to keep up with. And I don't know. We'll see what happens with Undisputed Era. Obviously, Roderick Strong is gonna have a cage match next week against Velveteen. We don't still don't.
Hey, one more thing with Velveteen. That man needs to stay out my grandma's closet, bro. Those pearls and that goddamn hat, like my grandma has that. He needs to stay out her closet, bro.
Right. No, I totally get that, man. That's fine. But I guess the last thing I'm going to say about this is that we still don't know what the plan is for Adam Cole going forward and that NXT title. So we'll see what goes on there. I still don't know what they're going to do.
I literally didn't even think about that we have no,
We have no NXT title program.
I mean, we still got, we got a month or so? Month and a half?
Yeah.
Yeah, I literally didn't think about that at all, that there is no number one contender, nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, that's one thing we still need to do, because obviously it does look like Broserweights versus Fitch and O'Reilly is still going to happen again. They're probably going to have a rematch at Tampa, but again, what's going to happen with Cole? So we'll find out. Hopefully we get more answers next week. So
I thought that's what the Finn stuff was going to be.
Yeah, me too. I thought Finn was next in line, but obviously, clearly, that's not the case. So we'll find out next week. Let's move on to something that was a carryover from last week. Ciampa interrupting Austin Theory's match last week. One thing I wanted to point out is, like, this goes back to your heel face dynamic. Faces acting like heels and vice versa. You know, heels getting pops. Why am I supposed to, like, feel sorry? Like in this situation, Ciampa comes off as a dick because he interrupted Austin Theory and he beat him up because Austin Theory was in the right. Like, dude, you're interrupting my match. I'm trying to get over. I'm trying to get my name out there just so you can do a backstage promo. Dude, film it on your phone and post it on Twitter or something. Why are you taking my TV time? He gets jumped by Ciampa after the fact. He gets jumped twice. Honestly, like, I'm gonna bring it. I'm gonna take this to you, man. Go ahead. Give me your take on this, man. What you think?
Vince, come to the dark side. That's all I've been saying, man. Like, and the part about it that's so damn stupid is Austin Theory is an amazing heel. That's what he's always been and evolved. Like, he took over that whole damn promotion. He can talk on the mic. You saw his moveset is fucking crazy. You had it perfectly set up to get some sympathy for Ciampa and boost him to another level, which the match did. Like, you saw all his movesets and everything. I can't believe they let him get all his shit, and I was pumped for that. Like, you had the perfect setup to elevate a heel and get some babyface shine on Ciampa, which you're trying to do because you turned your number one goddamn babyface into a heel.
Right.
Like I don't understand what they thought to accomplish. From the same thing with Bianca last week too. Like, this is the same gripe I have every week. Like, everything is gray. There's no color. There's no splash of anything. Like, it's all gray. You don't know who's who. You don't know who's the bad guy. You don't know who to cheer for.
Right.
You don't know who to boo. Like, it's just like this type of shit like pisses me off because, like I said, go back and check out Austin Theory and Evolve. He is a top flight heel. He's top flight on the mic and he's top flight in the ring. You had a perfect opportunity to do something here, and I think it fell on his face on what they were trying, but not the match. The match was fucking fun.
Oh yeah. So context aside, I thought the match was really, really good. It did wonders for Austin Theory. He held his own with Ciampa. The narrative that the commentator was trying to push was that Ciampa wasn't focused on Theory. He had his mind on Gargano, and that is why he was, like, not on top of his game. If maybe he could have finished Theory a little bit easier, quicker in the match. Overall, solid match. The one thing I wanted to point out that I noticed throughout this match is, like, man, Austin Theory is good, but what's his gimmick? Who is this guy? Why should I care? And you know who he reminded me of? Especially, again, maybe I'm just watching too much of the Ruthless Aggression documentary series, but he reminded me of a young John Cena when he was a prototype.
I wasn't even going to listen. I wasn't even going to say it. I was going to see if you saw it. Right. And that was part of his gimmick in Evolve.
Right.
He would promise John Cena all the time and say, I'm the next John Cena. He can't see me. Like,
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, I'm telling you, this dude is next level. Like, legit. Like, them signing him was a huge goddamn deal. I'm telling you. It eventually, when they finally unleash him, you'll see. And I think he's only like 23 or 24.
Yeah, he's 22. Commentary like, oh man, he held his own.
Yeah.
He's only a 22-year-old.
And he's already been wrestling like 5 or 6 years, bro. And he's only 22.
Okay, props to Austin Theory because obviously, Ciampa was gonna get this win. He got fairy tale ending at the end. After the match, there was a post match brawl between Gargano and Ciampa. They're going back and forth. They're in the corner. Theory comes in. He tries to get his licks in, trying to like, nah, Ciampa, I'm not done with you. He gets one forearm strike from Ciampa, and he flops. He just flops like he just took a stunner. I loved it.
Yeah, I'm here for it. Like I said, I know that they're just probably trying to bring him along slow, and there's too many. It's a logjam at every position, so I get it. But I'm just happy that, like you said, it sucks that no one knows who he is or what he can do.
Mm-hmm.
But at least you got to see what he is in the ring.
Right.
And honestly, he's bigger than what I thought he was too.
Right.
I mean, Ciampa's not huge, but he was clearly bigger than Ciampa. So that's a good sign too, especially moving on up to the main roster. So, but I'm totally like 100% in on Austin Theory. Like most of my favorite guys in NXT are from above. Riddle,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I dig it. Like I said, once they give him a mic, I'm telling you, it's over. I'm telling you.
So he also reminds me of Roddy because when Roddy came in, they were trying to have him as a babyface, and it wasn't until he turned heel and joined the Undisputed Era where you saw his character shine. And again, I haven't seen any of his heel work. I'm sure he looks like he could be a great heel. So the thing that I've noticed also is that Austin Theory feels to me more like a main roster guy. He feels like one of those early 2000 guys that used to debut on SmackDown and then eventually become a top name.
Like even with Ciampa, he felt like too big for that moment.
Right.
And even you feel it. You don't know who he is really. You're questioning his gimmick, all of that. And look what you just said. He feels like a main roster guy. Like that star power. That's something that he can't help. That's just the it factor that we always talk about. Yeah. And he definitely has it.
So it's because NXT has a certain vibe to it. And I feel like he doesn't fit it. Like a lot of people were saying that like EC3 never felt like he was truly an NXT guy. He didn't feel like he fit. And that's something that I see in Austin Theory. Like I know the guy is great. I feel like he might be like an Elias Sampson or a Baron Corbin situation where once they go to main roster, they're going to have a better run on the main roster than they did in NXT. For example, Alexa Bliss was just a valet, and then before that, she was a pixie princess, and she never got a title, and then she's one of the most dominant women's champions in the main roster.
The only thing about all those people that you named, though, is like the difference is Austin Theory really is a master on the mic. Like I'm not just saying that, like I'm telling you, he is a legit fucking heel, a mouthpiece. He can be a mouthpiece for a group. He can be a mouthpiece for himself. I'm telling you, if you get a chance, just go back, just look up Austin Theory promos. The kid is lights out. Like that's the only difference between. Though I agree with those guys, and it's just like in the NBA and college. Some guys are better in the NBA than they are in college.
Yeah, maybe he's a Zion. And he's out. He's sitting here for like a little cup of coffee in NXT, and he's gonna move on to SmackDown or Raw.
Mike, and it's over for everybody. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah. So let's move on to another prospect, Bronson Reed. He took on Killian Dane. Again, man, look, I'm sorry not to hate on Killian Dane. I like the guy. I think he's great. I just don't I can't get behind the guy as a singles guy, as a singles threat. He reminds me of Eric Rowan, and I feel like he works best as like a big muscle guy in a tag team or in a faction. I feel like his perfect situation was with Sanity. I still don't know why they broke up that faction. Yeah. Bronson Reed, on the other hand, even though he's a singles guy, I see some potential, especially with the whole he's NXT's resident thick boy or something like that. See, he's got something. He's trying things, and then Killian Dane just feels like another like burly like Haas, like old school wrestler, like an Eric Rowan, like a Luke Harper, Braun Strowman. He feels like that. He doesn't feel too original to me. Overall, I thought it was a solid Haas match. Like a very old school big guy versus big guy. What do you think? Overall, like I wasn't paying too much attention to it. I didn't even take too many notes on it. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of feel like Killian Dane was gonna get that one. Just he's been losing some matches, so they gotta get him some wins in his repertoire, just in case they want to feed him to someone else. I feel like that's who he's gonna be. He's gonna be a guy that you feed to the stars and beats up on the lower talent.
I mean, like you said, this was a so-so match. Like I feel that way about Bronson Reed. How you feel about Killian Dane? I feel that way about both of them. I think that there's something there, but I think where he kind of got, I don't want to say shackled, but remember TMK or TM20 or whatever.
TM61.
Yeah, he was a part of them. Like he was a part of their faction. And then
not in NXT though.
Not NXT, no, but I mean, like that's how he got on the radar and everything.
Oh, okay.
He was a part of their faction, and when he got there, they broke up and lived there no more. So I think that was a kind of a lot of what his thing was. Like he came in and kind of was just like, shit, I'm on my own.
Right.
There's something there. Like you can tell he's got a little bit of charisma to him. Like you said, he's trying different things with the thick boy and all that. Like, I don't know. I don't see like superstar out of him, but
right.
There's they got something to build on for sure.
I mean, look at a guy like Mark Henry. It took him years to get to that Hall of Fame level that he got to. Maybe Bronson Reed needs to get to his sexual chocolate era of his career before he can get to his Hall of Fame area.
Like those dudes, they're not really big dudes like you think they are. They're both like 5'8", 5'9".
Right.
They're just 300 and something pounds. They're not really big dudes. Right. So like, I don't know. Like I said, there's definitely something to build on with Bronson Reed. But like you said, with Killian Dane, like he needs
a faction. I feel like he needs a faction.
Yeah, a faction, a tag team, something. Be a heater for somebody.
Oh, maybe turn Nikki Cross heel and pair them up together.
Yeah, anything. I mean
they're like, real life husband and wife, so might as well. Yeah. All right, so let's move on. We had Grizzled Young Vets back in Full Sail, taking on Forgotten Sons. I'm gonna tell you, man, I wasn't feeling this match. I was like, call me when Grizzled Young Vets win. When, like, honestly, half the time, like, the Forgotten Sons, I legit forget they're in NXT. I forget about them.
I literally tweeted that, bro. Remember I tweeted, I was like, Forgotten Sons are America's team. Shit, I forgot they were even on NXT.
Exactly, man. I'm sorry, man. I can't get behind them. And then they came out basically saying they're Trump supporters, all three of them, and that's going to make me dislike you even more. So they're out of here.
Who do you want to be the heels? Do you want is Grizzled Young Veterans? They are the heels, and then you have these dudes come out looking like one of them looks like a skinhead. Then you come out with the trunks and stuff like
right.
Don't tread on me, trunks and stuff like it's like I said, it's always a contra fucking diction with them. Like, bro, just give me a heel or face team. Like, come on.
And here's the thing. I think they were just trying to turn them heel and do the US team versus the heel like foreign team. But I'm sorry. NXT pop for Grizzled Young Vets. Grizzled Young Vets are a legit team. They're out here. They're flawless. They're perfect. I've only seen them like maybe a handful of times. And I'm already like, I'm on board. I get them. I know their stuff. And then Zach Gibson is in a phenomenal promo, and I love him. And
I told you he can go. But my thing is, too, you got to know your audience. Like, yes, you're in Florida. I get it. But Orlando, that's one of the biggest gay populations in the United States. It's not that area for Trump supporting, bro. That shit backfired big time. Like I said, every once in a while, NXT makes a little hiccup. And this is one of them.
I think it's just a situation where there's a lack of tag teams, especially babyface tag teams, and they don't want to throw them back into Broserweights. They want to build up Grizzled Young Vets, so they just tried something here. They tried to last week, Grizzled Young Vets, they attacked the U.S., so Forgotten Sons, like, how dare you attack my goddamn country? Look, first off,
they just said we want to be number one in the U.S. They literally didn't say anything bad about the U.S. They just said we're going to be number one in the U.S. That's it.
Exactly. Honestly, look, I'm going to say it, man. Like, right now, the U.K. probably has it all together a little bit more than the U.S. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm just going to say that. But let's move on. We had a quick Tegan Nox interview. I loved it. This is the first time I got behind Tegan Nox. Maybe it was the match. Maybe it was the fact that I saw her at NXT Milwaukee and I got a chance to interact with her a bit. Got a quick selfie, a little quick self-plug right there. But I was actually feeling this interview. She said that she thought she was prepared at Takeover Portland. She thought of every possible situation. The one thing she didn't account for was having Raquel Gonzalez come in and interfere, and she didn't account for that. She wasn't ready for that. But next week, Tegan doesn't have that luxury. It will be one-on-one. She will finally put an end to Dakota Kai, and she had a great phrase, which I loved. She said, this whole thing started in the cage, and it's going to end in the cage. And I loved it. I thought that was beautiful. It was a perfect way to end the promo.
I don't really have nothing else to add because I love her. Like, I am infatuated with her. I think she is beautiful. I think her moves are dope. She got a fat ass. Like, I'm here for Tegan. Now, I am standing right now. I'm planting my stand flag. I've already did it a couple weeks ago, but I'm reassuring y'all.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right. So, so before we get to the main event, let's talk about two weird little eerie vignettes we had. At first, I thought it was like the first one happened earlier in the show, and I thought it was a build to Tampa.
I didn't see either one. I don't know what the hell I was doing, but I literally didn't see either one of them.
So they were pretty quick. So like right before they went to the commercial, or right when they came back from the commercial, it was a quick like 20 to like 20-second or so, like graphic stuff. You know, kind of like when Bray Wyatt had his stuff and they would go back and forth, some eerie stuff. It was just a bunch of imagery. In the last one, there was like a clock ticking, so it was like tick tock, tick tock. I heard fans in the crowd chanting tick tock, tick tock. So my whole thing, I thought it was initially just to hype up Tampa, but it looks like it's going to be somebody. And good. Okay, so one thing I was going to ask is, who do you think is going to be? My first name that came to mind was Killer Cross.
Yeah, I mean, as far as everything that everybody talking about on the internet and stuff and on Twitter, that's what everybody was saying, was that it's going to be Killer Cross. But I mean, I can't think of any other signings besides Timothy Thatcher.
Yeah, that's another guy. I mean,
I'm looking forward more to him than Cross. Don't get me wrong, Cross is dope, but I mean, like I said, Timothy Thatcher is one of my Evolve guys.
Yeah. I mean, look, nothing against Killer Cross, but I've heard that Scarlett Bordeaux hasn't debuted because they want to debut her with Killer Cross as a single package. Yeah. And I'm over here like, look, man, I just want to see Scarlett Bordeaux on my TV screen. She is amazing. I think for one thing, she has got damn gorgeous, drop that gorgeous, and two, she can go in the ring. She's misleading. She can actually go in the ring. She can hit a goddamn Canadian destroyer in heels. Who else can say that? You know. So I've seen her hit multiple Canadian destroyers in heels. She is a bad woman, and I want to see her on my TV screen, whether that's SmackDown, whether that's NXT, because you know NXT.
Is she hurt or what? Like, why are they?
No. So they want to debut her with Killer Cross.
So, okay. So is she not signed, or like, what's the issue?
No, she's signed. But that's the thing, is that they don't know what they want to do with Killer Cross, what brand they want Killer Cross in. So they're gonna wait till they figure out the Killer Cross stuff. So because she's gonna go with Killer Cross wherever she's gonna go. She's gonna start off as his valet, and then they're gonna go into a situation where she can eventually get into the ring.
All the stuff I've heard from like Busted Open, like radio with Tommy Dreamer, he had a lot to do with him and Impact and everything like that. From what he says. Yeah, he's a star and he's got star making, but he's not ready yet. He needs some more seasoning. So I don't see him. I see him definitely going to NXT for a little while.
I mean, we don't know. We don't know what they'll be doing. Obviously, there's been some glitch vignettes on SmackDown. They started these new vignettes, eerie.
I wanted to ask you guys about that, like the Mike glitch thing, like that.
Yeah.
I seen him like Valentine's Day night. I was watching SmackDown. Yeah. And so and then I heard you guys in our group chat. I'm like, is this really a thing? Like,
yeah, no. This week happened again, and they did a longer one where there was like blue lights and stuff. So people are saying that could be Killer Cross. Maybe Killer Cross is going to be in these vignettes that showed up in NXT. I think it's going to be Mustafa Ali. That's going to be a reintroduction from Mustafa on SmackDown. But let's go on. I just want to touch on the little like vignette stuff. See if you saw it. See what you thought. Yeah, obviously the easy answer could be Killer Cross, but there's no clear answer for it. So we'll find out. We'll see. Let's get to our main event: Bianca Belair versus Charlotte Flair, returning for the first time in NXT Full Sail. And one thing that they were saying is that this was the 10-year celebration episode. It wasn't hyped up, nothing too big, but this is 10 years of NXT being a thing, and I thought this was the perfect way. And Mauro also alluded to that on commentary, saying, you know, NXT's present taking on its past, and as we look towards the future, or something like that. Maybe I'm making it up right now.
What he said.
But overall, I loved how the match started, and the minute it got quiet, the crowd just started chanting, "You don't go here." I love that. I think that's great. Bianca Belair is going to be a t-shirt maker, man. She's going to be out here making phrases, getting catchphrases going and over, and she's going to be making t-shirts once she gets to the main roster. Trust me. So overall, I thought this match was great. I wish they had given them more time. I really, really hope that they got like a good 20-30 minute match because they could have stolen the show. This could have been one of the best matches in 2020. These girls went at it. One thing that stood out to me was Bianca Belair proved that she's on the Charlotte Flair level. And we already know Charlotte Flair is one of the dominant, most best women's wrestler in all of WWE. Bianca Belair has shown that she's on her level and she can hang with Charlotte Flair, and she could have almost beat Charlotte. Well, another thing that this did is that it showcased that, hey, I know we get tired of Charlotte because she's overexposed. She always gets the top spot. She always gets the title. But this match showcased that she deserves that spot because she can go in the damn ring. There's a reason for it.
Yourself, I'm never questioning that. Like, to me, she is the best women's wrestler in the world.
Mm-hmm.
She proves that every time she goes out. She's never had a terrible match that I could think of. And even if it was bad ones that may have happened, it damn sure wasn't her fault.
Oh, the only one I can think of was the one that she had against Lacey Evans, where you could tell that she was pissed at Lacey because she kept missing cues. Yeah, for sure, man.
But yeah, again, that was somebody else's. To me, this match right here just proved what me and you have been saying for the last couple of weeks, and what most people have. Bianca Belair is a bigger star than Rhea Ripley, and they misjudged this and misplaced this, and this should be the match at WrestleMania, not Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
And the only gripe I have about this match is that some of Charlotte's moves just didn't look right in that smaller ring. In that smaller X.
I mean, the one move that looked amazing when she went for the moonsault off the top, got it reversed, but immediately, so like Bianca tried to go with like the knees up, but she Charlotte countered that, and she was able to grab her legs and reverse it in a boxing crap. Oh my gosh, that transition was smooth. It was clean. I loved it. It was so good, man. These two have great chemistry. They were great.
And that's the thing. You can't. I think sometimes WWE always jumps the shark on some things, and these type of situations where you cannot deny this. Like, first of all, Royal Rumble should have showed you what it was. Like, you put her in that position, she outshined everybody, including Charlotte, if you ask me.
Right.
And you put that rocket on her intentionally or unintentionally, and now you get to see what she really could do versus your best women's wrestler and the thing. Like, I don't understand, like, what is holding them up, and why did they hotshot Rhea Ripley from NXT UK into these positions when you had Bianca there the whole damn time that you could have gone this way?
Yeah, I think they weren't anticipating like Bianca to be this over with the crowd on main roster and then NXT. They misjudged that for sure.
They did, but that's my thing. Like, why didn't they? Same thing happened pretty much with Kofi last year. It was an accident. He got thrown into some stuff.
Yeah.
The crowd got behind him. They made an adjustment and ran with it. You had the opportunity to do this. You could have fell off of her numerous times and gave it to Bianca and went on to WrestleMania.
Right.
I think that they are sometimes they're too stubborn on who they want to be the person, the guy or gal, and they just too bullheaded to accept that that's not who the crowd wants. Right. So now next year, they're going to come back and try and do this shit again and try and remake her magic and make her the moment next year when it should have been right now.
Okay. So, I mean, one thing that I guess you can say about NXT that it has against main roster is able to like move on the fly because they do stuff like on a weekly to month basis. NXT, what I've noticed is that they have a plan and they like to stick to it as much as they can. They only really adjust it if injury or something or a call up before then like makes them change their story. I think they see that Bianca's over. I think they still have plans for her, but they had plans for Rhea coming in, and they're not gonna deviate from it. I think what best case scenario is Bianca gets added to into that match and becomes a triple threat. Just because she lost tonight doesn't mean that she can't be added. I still think that can happen. So
my thing was, I think that they wasted Royal Rumble, to be honest. I think that they should have put Rhea in that position, and then you elevate the NXT title, and you elevate the person that you think is going to be Charlotte is.
I think they messed up that whole thing because I think it was supposed to be Shayna for sure winning that Rumble, and they went to a convoluted way to get her a title shot against Becky because that's still the plan. And then now you have Charlotte doing something. I think it was just honestly, look, man, I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna accept what we have right now, unfortunately, because there's nothing we can do. Unfortunately, we can't change things. So we don't have that power to just change things. I am just the only thing we can do is just be hopeful, because after WrestleMania, I know there's gonna be a shakeup. There's been rumors and rumblings of that. And Bianca, I've said it, like, look. She's going to be like an Alexa Bliss. She didn't get the title in NXT, but she's going to dominate on Raw and SmackDown. When she gets there, she's going to be like a 6, 7, 8 time champion by the time it's over. She's going to be dominant.
If Paul Heyman gets his hands on her, I'm telling you, bro. That's all I'm looking forward to is Paul Heyman getting his hands on her. I can tell you right now, she'll be the top person on Raw. And whenever it happens or anything, for sure.
So I say this is what should happen. Rhea, Charlotte stays as is, or Bianca gets added regardless. Rhea retains at Mania. They bring over Bianca to Raw after Mania, and then you continue the Charlotte-Bianca program, eventually with Bianca winning that. Hopefully by that time, Shayna Baszler has already taken the title off of Becky. She's already had a decent run, and then Bianca can be the one to take the title from Shayna. And then eventually you can get Bianca versus Becky, or Bianca versus Naomi if they shake things up, or Bianca versus Sasha, or somebody, I still want to see Bianca versus Alexa. I thought them starting off the Rumble was amazing. I thought they had great chemistry.
Yeah, I think that was probably one of the best parts of the Rumble was them to start now. And that's another thing too, showing Alexa like people give her shit, but again, what really bad matches has she had? Like she's dope too. Like
yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Like I just can't wait for Paul Bianca. I think that he's gonna shoot her to the moon for sure.
Okay. All right, man. So one thing, we got to wrap this up. We're getting close to the 1 hour mark, and my internet connection might be going to shit because you're getting a little bit more static on my end. So we're going to try to wrap this up. Obviously, Charlotte got the win. Bianca went to a spear. Then Charlotte got a spear her own and immediately went into the natural selection to get the win. Post-match, Charlotte goes for a chair and starts to make a motion like she's going to attack Bianca. Rhea's music hits, and this is the only thing I'm gonna say. Rhea's done this so many times. I went to a live show in Milwaukee on Friday, and she did the exact same thing, where she comes in for the run-in help, and she takes her goddamn time. She waits until the cue to hit her goddamn stomp. At some point, it's like, run in there if you're gonna run in. And one thing I'll give props to Charlotte, because a lot of people do this, where they're about to attack somebody. There's a run and somebody stops him. The music hits. Here's the thing. You still got like about 30 seconds before they get to the ring.
Beat that ass
while they get to the ring and then bounce. And everybody usually just freezes like, oh my gosh, what do I do now? No, Charlotte went in there. She's like, oh snap. She put the chair in her leg, stomped it on Bianca. Bianca's like, oh goddamn. And then afterwards, Charlotte still put her in the figure 8. And then while Rhea was sliding in and waiting to do her goddamn entrance, Charlotte already got a lot of fucking offense in.
Like I said, some of the shit just does not make sense.
That's like, the only thing I'm gonna say. Is like Rhea, bro.
It's like that's nitpicking, but like, yeah, like you getting your shit off, doing your posing and shit. I'm getting my head cracked in, bro. You coming to save me or what?
Right? Oh my gosh. So look, again, nitpicking, but I'm just gonna say it, man. If I'm in a program and Rhea Ripley is gonna make the save, at that point I'm like, man, she's not coming. She's not coming.
Somebody else, bro.
No. Send someone else. Send someone else. Send someone else. Send anyone but Rhea, because she takes her time making the save. So, one thing, again, I don't know if the post-match is to, like, set up that Rhea Ripley run-in, or if that's to further the involvement of Bianca Belair in this feud and make it a triple threat down the line. I really hope they do, man. That's the best way.
You've been calling it since from the beginning, so definitely, like, I feel like I was skeptical about it until this happened. I kind of think, and now I'm jumping on board with you that they're going to make it a triple threat. Because first of all, they love triple threats, and second of all, like you have to capitalize on this Bianca's rise. You have to in some way. Like I said, she didn't have to take the pin, she didn't have to win, but you have to get this put up on the screen at WrestleMania. You have belongs on that stage. She just does.
No, yeah, definitely for sure, man. Bianca is the star. Like I said, she should be on Raw. She should be on SmackDown. She's already feel like she's bigger than NXT, which is a huge thing to say. Her and Keith Lee both feel like they should be on main roster right now. But That's why I'm saying, like, she needs her WrestleMania moment. I want to see her do, like, her Mania entrance, man. You know, just get her in there. Get her in here, do something. But, all right, man. We leaked over about an hour. We're, like, an hour and 5 minutes pushing it. So, I think that's the goodest timing as any to close off the show. Any final thoughts or anything else you want to say before we close off?
No, just a good show tonight. And then, like I said, just everybody keep in mind, hashtag SmackNXT. Shoot us some questions and stuff that we can answer on the show next week. So definitely look forward to that. And hit me up on Twitter, Mr.8984. Definitely love to talk shit about wrestling all day, every day. I mean, that's pretty much my entire feed is sports and wrestling. So definitely don't be scared to hit me up or shoot me a DM or whatever. I'm definitely down to talk.
Yeah. For sure. Also, you can find this channel and myself on Twitter. Follow me at SESVince. Follow the show at SmackRawPod. Use the hashtag SmackedNXT. I love that you started a hashtag for us. Use that hashtag. We're going to be looking at that hashtag. Make sure there's some questions in there. We're going to do, the tweet before the show. Any questions you have for us, you can start it right now. You can send us a question right now. We'll save them. We'll give you a shout out on the show. Make sure if you're watching this on YouTube, you go ahead and subscribe, give it a thumbs up, hit the bell notification so you know when we drop the latest video. Comment down below what you thought of tonight's episode, or drop some questions down in the comment section. That works too. Wherever you're consuming the show, download it. Don't just listen to it. Give it a download. We're on all your podcasting sites. Apple Music, give it a 5-star rating and a review. Like I said, helps the algorithm, helps the exposure of the show. But with that being said, we'll catch you guys next week. See you guys later.